Hello. One of the problems I've got is that the table in the shed is really old and falling apart, and really I don't put anything on it because I suspect that if I put anything heavy on it, it will just fall to pieces. So I'm going to take it apart and get rid of it and build a replacement. This table is really, you can see, it's like, that's the leg, it's missing this leg, well it's not missing, it's here, but you can see it's just riddled with woodworm. All the bits are riddled with woodworm, and even the uprights have got woodworm holes in it. So obviously this is no good, it won't support much weight. I don't know what's actually holding it up, because the other leg is just as bad, and I think it was all the rubbish that's still under there that's holding it up. So once I've cleared that, I'll replace this with something, but I'm not going to do anything too good because obviously this is all woodwormy, so this whole thing will have to go in a couple of years anyway. So I'll knock something out of pallets. Okay, let's get the last of the rubbish out here. That's old leg. Oh, some plasmics. That's it. More blooming parts everywhere, wherever I look. My life is filled with pots. Okay, I think there's about, God knows how many years of accumulated junk. Yeah, I think I need a shovel to get this stuff out. There's a lot of it. Rubbish back here. But something, I think there's been stashing food tissue in that corner. So I guess a rat or a mouse has been nesting in there at some point in time. Right. Of so much rubbish. It doesn't help that what's some of this here, now that I can see it, the bricks are uneven, so I'm trying to scrape all the muck off with a spade. I can't because all the bricks are in the way, so I can't just simply scrape everything off. Dust and crud and cobwebs everywhere. Okay, I think that just comes apart. And this is obviously this last leg, so that comes apart. That comes apart. Oops. Now, right here, I need to get. Right, we've got a couple of screws there, which is connected to that upright, and we've got that rusty old bolt that's connected to that. I have to bring in a spanner for that. So I think I'll stop here, but it's more or less come out, so that's one job. You can see, I mean, this is just like absolutely riddled with woodworm holes. Okay, well, I'll have to bring in some tools tomorrow, and I need the tools to put the thing together, but I'm just going to try a bit of brute force and ignorance. I don't know. I don't want to damage this upright, so I'll not force it, but the rest of it should fall apart now, no problem. So I'll sort that out tomorrow. I'll get on with another job. There's plenty of them. Actually, as I was sweeping under the table and trying to collect all this, I can't believe I filled all this stuff. I filled one of these boxes, had a few things in it, but it's mostly from all the debris and junk that was under here. I don't know, I mean, it's bits of masonry, and there must have been some soil and compost in there, but there was all sorts of other things mixed in, so it's being chucked. But as I was doing that, I leaned on it to stand up. Shouldn't have done that, but I wasn't paying attention, and I leaned on it, and that was come off as well. So now all I've got to do is unscrew this bit, or I might be able to get away with it. If need be, I can put the pallets a little bit closer together, so if that doesn't come off, if I have any grief, I can just leave that in. Right, so let's get rid of this bit and then have a look at that. Right, see if I scrape off some of the crud. Yeah, that's nailed on, and that's, well, these are actually nailed on. Okay, so this needs a crowbar. It's actually nailed on, not screwed on. I could crowbar this off, and then that can go. If I can't, it's not the end of the world, but I'll try to see if I can crowbar this off. Okay, I've brought the tools in, and I'm going to take this piece off. I've got two pallets, this one and that one, which are the same size, or more or less. I mean, pallets are never exactly the same size. And I've cut some pieces for the top and to connect the back end together as well, just to give it a bit more strength. So let's start with taking this last piece off. Thing is, that nail is stronger than whatever's holding that together, so be careful here. Come off. Everything else is falling apart. The only strong nail is the bit that's holding. Where the hell did that come from? We'll put these two nails in, did a good job of that, because everything else fell apart. But the thing is, these uprights are so full of woodworm and so flimsy. We don't put too much work. Don't want to put too much force in there. Okay. I really don't want to damage that. I think I'm just going to have to. Oh, right. Oh, crap. One nail stuck in there. Will it come out? You know what it's going to be like. It's not going to go in, it's not going to come out. It's going to sit there and annoy me. I'll see if I can get the pallet round it. If it doesn't get in the way of the pallet, I'll leave it, because if I try and put any more force on it, that support will break. Right, so let's clean up the mess, and then I'll bring the pallets in. Right. So that's the first pallet. And second pallet. Right, so I was alright with those nails, because they're not getting in the way of the pallets, so that's okay. So the slats are going to go like that, and just to sort of check, it's sort of levelish. I mean, I'm not looking for perfection here, it's only an allotment bench, so that'll do. So, just to do a rough layout, this is roughly how it's going to look. I'm not going to be too fussed. I mean, the size of them, you can see some are wider than others and some different colours, and spacing is going to be a little bit different, but that's okay. So yeah, I think that will level enough. I haven't put things on together yet, and then I can always just stick something under one of the sides, and that way as well it's a little bit well, obviously because that's there, but I mean that's level. So I think those thicker pieces might give me a bit of grief, but that's alright, it doesn't matter. Not too worried about it, just so long as I've got something to put things on, and I think it'll be fine. Right, I was going to put some pieces at the back to connect the two ends, but it's going to be a bit awkward because of these bricks. They're sort of sticking out where I want the pieces to go, so I think it'll be sturdy enough without them. So what I'm going to do is put it out, put the two at the ends, and then I can do this end, and then I can start with the middle ones. This is the sort of problems you have trying to build with pallets, because this piece is actually sticking out. This side's alright, it's flat. This piece is actually sticking out. So I'll have to do something about that. I thought I'd cheat and turn it around so this end was okay, but then these bits are sticking out. So I'm going to just give it up as a bad job and just nail them in. It's not going to be even, but I'll have to live with that. Now this end piece is okay, because what I can do is I can actually hammer nails into that. But when it gets to these, what I'll have to do is drill pilot holes into them and then put nails in. Otherwise, if I just try and nail it in, the wood can crack. Now, get my set square just to make sure it's nice and square. Okay, so I've done that end and I've done this end. So now all I've got to do is put the ones in the middle. Well, that's just banging nails into wood, so I'll not record that. It's a bit boring. Okay, so I've just laid the pieces. There isn't really huge gaps in here, just enough to let any water and stuff dribble through. And what I probably will do later is put some shelves in there and put pots and things in there, but that's for another day. But that is how it's going to look. I haven't nailed them in yet, they're just loose. I just put them in loose to see, double check, and I've checked that everything is square, so that everything is nice and even. I mean, the gaps are a little bit, sometimes they're a bit closer, sometimes they're a bit further apart, but I'm not building dining room furniture here. It's only a potting bench, so it'll do. Right, the battery ran out on my camera yesterday, so I didn't record the last bit. What I did in the end was to deal with the pieces that were different thicknesses. Obviously these came from pallets and the bits of wood were different thicknesses across. I started with the thinnest at this end and the thickest at that end. So it's sort of got a tiny little slope, but only from having the thickest at that end and the thinnest at this end. But that doesn't matter. And the spacing is uneven, but that doesn't matter either. I mean, it's reasonably level, not perfectly level, but that's alright. And that way, that's fine. But that's a nice little potting bench, and it is solid. I tested sitting on it, and if it can hold my weight, it'll hold anything. And I can have my tray here and look out the window. So I'm gonna put my tray there. There we go. I'll put my compost here. Right, compost there. Tray here, right on the window. I can do my potting up. I've got a little bit of space there. It's perfect. And under there I can put pots and things that I need. So yeah, just right. Obviously there's a gap there because I put the pallet this side of the uprights, so it's left a gap there, but that's okay. That doesn't matter. I can do my potting and look out across the plot, obviously. Once all the rubbish has gone out of the way and the plot looks a bit better, then this will be a perfect place. Well, I'm pleased with this bench and I look forward to using it for a good many years. In the next video I'll do a bit more organising and build a few things to organise things in the shed a little bit better. So goodbye for now, and come back soon.